Welcome back to my channel, and today my topic is about bivalves. The name bivalves sounds strange and you might never have heard of it before. Bivalves is called a family of phylum, which is a large animal group that contains animals like bivalves. Bivalves can include mussels, oysters, and clams. You might not even notice you're eating bivalves in the middle of a restaurant or at home. Bivalves also produce food and surprisingly jewelry. You might be lucky to find one pearl inside a bivalve, but they're very rare and you won't have a big chance. And my first fact is about the bivalve anatomy. As you can see in this picture, the bivalve has many parts. And right here you can see this is the muscular foot, and the muscular foot is for burrowing the bivalve into the water, into the ground or the sand, because bivalves need to escape from predators, and that's their usual home where they can sneak on prey. They also have a adductor muscle that helps open and close the shell, and the adductor muscle is a muscle that can help move some body parts. So the bivalve is made out of two valves, which is the two flaps of the shell. And speaking of shells, that's my next fact. Shells can be many different colors, and some colors depend on what types of food they eat. Some colors might seem strange because the food they eat has a strange color. Shells are made out of calcium carbonate, which is sand, limestone, marble, and calcium. And these four materials can make up the shell, and as you can see, shells can be many different shapes and colors. And that's all about shells. Bivalves also can filter feed. They are one of the animals that do this, and filter feeders are animals that breathe into their gills, but then they suck in organic matter to find food. The bivalves have gills, and once they suck the organic matter particles will get stuck inside their gills, and then it will transfer into their mouth. This is how bivalves eat, and then you can see that bivalves don't seem like they just clamp their food into their shell. And that's how a bivalve works in filter feeding. And there's also many types of bivalves that are different sizes. One of the biggest bivalves are 4 feet 6 inches, and you can see it right here, and it's called the giant clam. The bivalves can be small or big, and did you know the giant clam cannot move around the water just because of its weight and its size? It's too heavy to move around. And then one of my facts is called pearls. Pearls are very valuable, and you might think this is a pearl and it's weirdly shaped, but it isn't. The pearl has many steps in order to become it. First, a worm comes into the clam or the bivalve, and it's around the mussel. And the shell or the bivalve has 7 layers, so that's why they climb into the mussel layer. And then the mussel will create a border around the worm, which is called the mother of the pearl. And that is what this looks like. Once the pearl is ready to come out, the mother of the pearl will slowly go away, and then when you open your shell, you can find a pearl inside. Pearls usually take 5 years to grow, and you might be lucky to find one, but it's a rarely chance. Bivalves also live at the bottom of the sea. Earlier, I talked about the muscular foot that can help burrow them into the sand. The muscular foot is really helpful, and as you can see, this is the razor clam right here burrowing itself into the sand. The razor clam first extends its feet, and the muscles contract to keep pulling it down. And finally, the blood pumps in order for it to go upright and down into here. When the muscles contract, the body will pull down into the sand in order to do this. And that's how a bivalve can burrow itself, because there's many advantages of being burrowed into the sand for a bivalve. Like you can find prey or escape from predators and find food. It's a great home for a bivalve. Bivalves are amazing creatures, and I think that they have many abilities that can help them survive. I hope you learned a lot about bivalves and how they can burrow themselves and then they can produce so much things like pearls, or they can produce food. Thank you for listening.